The career of Paul Pogba, once the most expensive player in football history, is in ruins. Pogba has been given a 4-year ban for doping. It's an unprecedented sanction for a player of his stature, and it's also incredibly rare in football. So, what actually happened, and what could happen next? In 2016, Paul Pogba joined Manchester United from Juventus for €105 million, then making him the most expensive player in football history. Pogba was considered one of the best midfielders in the world. He'd won 4 straight Serie A titles with Juve and would go on to win the World Cup with France in 2018. But his reputation has suffered since, as he endured a difficult 6 years back at Manchester United, whom he first joined as an academy prospect. He then rejoined Juventus on a free transfer in 2020, but has been plagued by injuries since and was even forced to miss the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. And now, Pogba has tested positive for DHEA, or dihydroepiandrosterone, to give it its full name. It is a banned substance that boosts the production of testosterone, itself a banned substance. A urine sample given after Juventus' first match of the 2023-24 season, away at Udinese on the 20th of August 2023, contained metabolites of testosterone as a result of his ingestion of the DHEA. The result of his test was first made public in September, when Pogba was provisionally suspended. In October, it was announced that his backup sample had confirmed the original finding. And in February, he was given a 4-year penalty by NATO Italia, Italy's national anti-doping body, to which he responded in late February by saying that he was shocked and heartbroken. He added that he would be making an appeal against the verdict at the Court of Arbitration for Sport, although the timetable for that appeal remained unclear. I have never knowingly or deliberately taken any supplements that violate anti-doping regulations, he said in the aftermath. But it's important to understand that however the DHEA got into Pogba's system, by accident or otherwise, he is nonetheless responsible for it, under the strict liability principles within the anti-doping rules. Or in other words, if you take a supplement that contains a banned substance, it's your responsibility before taking it to make sure it doesn't contain any banned substance. As soon as the first reports of his positive test appeared in September, various Italian newspapers, including La Gazzetta dello Sport, reported Pogba had consumed a supplement, apparently provided by a medic friend while in pre-season training in America. Pogba himself hasn't commented on this. It appears, though, that his argument in NATO Italia was based on the notion he unwittingly consumed the DHEA. But evidently, the anti-doping body felt he had fallen foul of the rules by carelessly taking a supplement without checking it. Now, a 4-year ban is huge by normal footballing standards, but then football globally has long appeared to have had a lax attitude to drugs, relatively speaking. World governing body FIFA only ratified the World Anti-Doping Agency Code, a core document intended to harmonize drug policies across different sports, as recently as 2006, and was the last Olympic sport to sign up to anti-doping. In doping cases where FIFA has jurisdiction, it applies a maximum 2-year ban for first offences, whereas 4 years is standard elsewhere. FIFA most recently endorsed a 2-year ban to Papu Gomez, who won the World Cup with Argentina in 2022. He's tested positive for a banned drug, terbutaline, while playing for Sevilla not long before the World Cup. His case concluded in October 2023, even though he denies any wrongdoing. Diego Maradona was twice banned for failing drugs tests, once for 15 months after taking cocaine at Napoli, and once for 18 months for taking the banned stimulant ephedrine. The Portuguese footballer Abel Xavier was the first and only Premier League footballer to be banned for performance-enhancing drugs while in England, getting an 18-month ban in 2005 for taking the banned anabolic steroid Dianabol. Lots of players have been banned, including in England, for taking recreational drugs, notably cocaine or cannabis, but these tend to be for months rather than years. A spate of players tested positive for the banned steroid nandrolone in the late 1990s and early noughties, most claiming it was due to contaminated supplements, and most getting bans of just a few months. Jaap Stam and Edgar Davids were among them. Both served 4 months as mentioned. But one of the theoretical reasons why bans are rare in football is because, as a whole, it tests relatively few players, certainly relative to other sports. There are approximately 140,000 professional footballers in the world at any one time, and about 40,000 drug tests in football worldwide per year, not all in the professional game. So, on average, roughly and globally, a footballer gets tested once every 3.5 years. Leading sports people in cycling or athletics or tennis, for example, will routinely have multiple tests every year. As for Paul Pogba, his hopes now lie at CAS, where former #1 women's tennis player Simona Halep recently had a 4-year doping ban reduced to 9 months. But CAS ruled in that case that on the balance of probabilities, a banned drug, roxadustat, entered her body through the consumption of a contaminated supplement. Pogba, until now, has not argued contamination, so the outcome in his case remains up in the air. When I'm free of legal restrictions, the full story will become clear. But I have never knowingly or deliberately taken any supplements that violate anti-doping regulations. Unless he is successful in overturning or reducing his ban when CAS hears his case, Pogba will be banned until August 2027, by which time he'll be 34 years old.